ladies and gentlemen, life is full of noise. The world shouts, distractions pull, and uncertainty creeps in. But deep inside you, there is a place of stillness, a place where true strength, wisdom, and peace reside. The question is, have you visited that place lately? Inner peace isn't something you stumble upon. It's something you cultivate. And when life gets overwhelming, that's when you need it the most. So today I want to share with you 7 timeless principles to help you find and protect your inner peace. Your mind is the most powerful tool you will ever possess. It shapes your reality, determines your actions, and ultimately defines the quality of your life. If you do not take control of your mind, it will be controlled for you by circumstances, by negativity, by external influences that do not have your best interests at heart. The mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant in it will grow. If you don't plant the right seeds, the weeds of doubt, fear, and anxiety will take over. That is why it is essential to be intentional about what you allow into your thoughts. Every day we are bombarded with information, distractions, and external noise. If we are not careful, we let these things dictate how we feel and what we believe. The news, social media, gossip, and opinions of others can infiltrate our minds and create patterns of worry and negativity. To take control of your mind, you must first become aware of what you are feeding it. Ask yourself, is this thought serving me? If it is not helping you grow, if it is not bringing you closer to peace and clarity, it does not belong in your mind. You must learn to filter out the noise and focus only on what empowers you. The power of the mind lies in its ability to create both problems and solutions. The same situation that causes one person's stress can be seen as an opportunity by another. The difference lies not in the circumstance, but in how the mind interprets it. You must train your mind to focus on solutions rather than problems. Instead of dwelling on what is wrong, start looking for what can be done. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, break challenges into small steps. Instead of fearing failure, see every setback as a lesson. The mind will follow whatever direction you give it, so direct it wisely. One of the greatest battles in the mind is against negative self-talk. The words you say to yourself become the beliefs that shape your life. If you constantly tell yourself that you are not good enough, not capable, or not worthy, your actions will reflect those beliefs. But when you choose to replace negative self-talk with empowering words, everything changes. Start affirming your strengths. Remind yourself that you are capable, resilient, and deserving of success. The more you reinforce positive beliefs, the stronger they become, and over time they replace the old patterns of doubt. Another key to taking control of your mind is learning to manage stress and anxiety. Worry is the misuse of imagination. The mind tends to exaggerate problems, creating fear about things that may never even happen. But when you take control, you learn to separate real concerns from imagined fears. You learn to focus only on what is within your control and let go of the rest. Practicing mindfulness, deep breathing, and gratitude can help shift your focus from stress to clarity. When you center your mind in the present moment, you gain the ability to respond to life rather than react to it. Discipline is what keeps the mind sharp and strong. Just as the body needs exercise, the mind needs training. Reading, learning, and engaging in thought-provoking conversations keep the mind active and healthy. Avoiding mental laziness is crucial. When you challenge yourself to think critically, to seek knowledge, and to question assumptions, you strengthen your ability to make better decisions. A disciplined mind is a peaceful mind because it is not easily swayed by distractions or negativity. Surrounding yourself with the right influences is one of the most important ways to take control of your mind. The people you spend time with, the books you read, the content you consume, all of these shape your thinking. If you are surrounded by negativity, your mind will absorb it. But when you expose yourself to positive, inspiring, and growth-oriented influences, your mind will naturally follow that path. Choose your environment carefully because your thoughts will always reflect what you are exposed to. Taking control of your mind is not a one-time effort. It is a daily practice. It requires awareness, discipline, and the willingness to challenge old patterns of thinking. But when you master your mind, you master your life. Your emotions are powerful. They influence your decisions, shape your relationships, and define your overall experience of life. But if you don't learn to master them, they will master you. Too often, people allow their emotions to dictate their actions, reacting impulsively instead of responding wisely. They let anger push them into arguments, fear hold them back from opportunities, and stress cloud their judgment. The key to inner peace is not in suppressing emotions, but in understanding and directing them in a way that serves you rather than controls you. Emotions are like waves. They rise and fall. Some days you wake up feeling strong and motivated. Other days, doubt and frustration creep in. The mistake people make is believing that their emotions are absolute truths rather than temporary states of mind. Just because you feel unmotivated does not mean you are incapable. Just because you feel discouraged does not mean you are failing. Learning to separate your emotions from reality is one of the first steps to mastering them. Your feelings are valid, but they are not always accurate reflections of the truth. Self-awareness is the foundation of emotional mastery. Many people go through life without truly understanding why they feel the way they do. They let emotions control them because they never stop to examine their triggers. When you take the time to understand what sparks certain emotions in you, whether it's frustration, jealousy, or anxiety, you gain the power to change your response. Instead of reacting blindly, you can pause, reflect, and choose how to respond. This simple shift from reaction to response is what separates those who are controlled by their emotions from those who control them. Managing emotions also requires the ability to process them in a healthy way. Suppressing emotions does not make them disappear. It only buries them deeper, where they build up over time and eventually explode in unhealthy ways. True mastery comes from acknowledging what you feel without letting it consume you. When anger arises, instead of lashing out, you can channel it into something productive. When sadness visits, instead of drowning in it, you can use it as a moment of reflection. The goal is not to eliminate emotions, but to guide them in a direction that benefits you rather than harms you. Another aspect of mastering emotions is learning to detach from external influences. Many people allow their mood to be dictated by circumstances or by the actions of others. If someone treats them poorly, they feel angry. If things don't go their way, they feel defeated. But true inner peace comes when you no longer allow external events to control your internal state. You can acknowledge the challenges, but you do not have to be ruled by them. When you develop emotional independence, you become unshakable. Your peace is no longer at the mercy of what happens around you. It comes from within. Perspective plays a crucial role in emotional mastery. Often, what upsets us in the moment is insignificant in the grand scheme of life. A stressful situation today might be forgotten in a year. A disappointment now may lead to a better opportunity later. When you train yourself to look beyond the immediate moment, emotions lose their power over you. Instead of letting frustration take over, you can remind yourself that challenges are temporary. Instead of letting fear stop you, you can focus on the bigger picture. Shifting your perspective allows you to regain control over how you feel. Emotional mastery is not about being emotionless. It's about being emotionally intelligent. It's about recognizing emotions, understanding their impact, and choosing how to express them in a way that aligns with your goals and values. It takes practice, patience, and self-discipline, but the rewards are worth it. When you master your emotions, you gain clarity, resilience, and an unshakable sense of peace that allows you to navigate life's challenges with strength and confidence. Life tends to accumulate clutter, not just in our physical spaces, but in our minds, our schedules, and our emotions. Over time, we take on more responsibilities, more distractions, more worries, and more commitments than we can realistically handle. This buildup creates stress, steals our energy, and clouds our clarity. Without even realizing it, we find ourselves overwhelmed, weighed down by things that do not serve us. Decluttering is not just about cleaning up. It is about creating space for what truly matters. It is about removing the unnecessary so that the essential can shine through. One of the most obvious places where clutter takes hold is in our physical environment. A cluttered space creates a cluttered mind. When you are surrounded by mess, unfinished tasks, and disorganization, it is harder to focus, harder to relax, and harder to find peace. Every item you own requires some level of attention, whether it is cleaning it, organizing it, or simply deciding what to do with it. The more things you accumulate, the more mental energy they demand. But when you simplify your space, when you remove what you no longer need, you create an environment that promotes clarity, productivity, and calmness. The process of letting go of unnecessary possessions is also symbolic. It teaches you that holding on to what no longer serves you does not bring peace, but releasing it does. Life is often cluttered with commitments that drain us rather than fulfill us. Many people say yes to everything, projects, invitations, obligations, without stopping to ask if these things align with their priorities. They overload their schedules with activities that do not bring joy or progress, and as a result they are constantly busy but never truly present. Decluttering your commitments means being intentional with your time. It means recognizing that every yes to something unimportant is a no to something meaningful. It is about focusing on what truly matters and having the courage to let go of the rest. When you create space in your schedule, you gain time for what brings you peace, growth, and fulfillment. Mental clutter is another silent thief of peace. Every day we carry an overwhelming number of thoughts, unfinished tasks, regrets from the past, worries about the future, and unnecessary distractions. When the mind is overloaded, it becomes difficult to think clearly, to make decisions, and to be fully present. A mind filled with clutter leads to stress and exhaustion. But just as we clean our physical space, we must also clear our mental space. This means prioritizing important thoughts and letting go of the noise. It means setting aside quiet time to reset, to reflect, and to filter out what is unnecessary. Writing things down, practicing mindfulness, and simplifying your focus can help free up mental energy. When the mind is clear, everything else in life becomes more manageable. Emotional clutter is another burden that people carry without realizing it. Resentment, grudges, past mistakes, and unresolved emotions take up space in our hearts, leaving little room for peace and happiness. Holding on to negative emotions does not serve us. It only keeps us stuck in the past. Letting go of emotional clutter means forgiving both others and yourself. It means choosing to release what no longer benefits you and making space for positivity, love, and gratitude. Emotional decluttering is not about ignoring feelings. It is about processing them, understanding them, and then deciding which ones to keep and which ones to let go of. When you free yourself from emotional baggage, you experience life with greater lightness and peace. Technology and information overload have also created a new form of clutter in our lives. Endless notifications, emails, social media updates, and news alerts compete for our attention, making it difficult to focus and be present. Constant digital noise distracts us from what truly matters, stealing time and energy that could be spent on more meaningful pursuits. Decluttering in this area means setting boundaries, turning off unnecessary notifications, limiting screen time, and being intentional about what information you consume. Not every message needs an immediate response, and not every piece of information deserves your attention. When you take control of your digital life, you regain mental space for deeper thinking, creativity, and real human connection. Decluttering your life is an ongoing process, not a one-time event. It requires continuous evaluation of what is adding value and what is simply taking up space. It means learning to say no without guilt, simplifying where possible, and choosing quality over quantity in all areas of life. The more you remove the unnecessary, the more room you create for peace, clarity, and fulfillment. When you declutter, you are not just getting rid of things. You are making space for a better version of yourself. Life is built on habits. Every day, whether you realize it or not, you follow routines. Some intentional, some accidental. The question is, are these routines helping you or holding you back? The most successful, peaceful, and fulfilled individuals do not leave their days to chance. They design their routines with purpose, ensuring that each day moves them closer to their goals, strengthens their mindset, and creates a sense of stability. Strong routines are not just about productivity. They are about creating a life that feels balanced, controlled, and fulfilling. A strong routine starts the moment you wake up. The first actions of your day set the tone for everything that follows. If you begin your morning in chaos, rushing, reacting, and letting external factors dictate your mood, you are already on the defensive. But when you take control of your morning, you take control of your day. A structured morning routine could include moments of stillness, gratitude, movement, and learning, whether it's meditation, journaling, reading, or exercise. The key is to engage in habits that prepare you mentally, emotionally, and physically for the day ahead. A strong morning routine is like a shield. It protects you from stress and uncertainty, allowing you to start your day with confidence. Throughout the day, routines serve as guideposts that keep you focused and intentional. Without them, it's easy to drift from task to task, allowing distractions to steal your time and energy. A strong work routine ensures that you are not just busy but actually productive, prioritizing important tasks, setting specific times for deep work, and taking planned breaks all contribute to sustained focus and efficiency. Successful people do not wait for motivation to strike. They rely on their routines to keep them moving forward even when motivation is low. When you have structure, discipline replaces procrastination and momentum carries you through. Just as routines shape your productivity, they also shape your mindset. The thoughts you feed your mind daily determine your outlook on life. Without a strong mental routine, negative thoughts can creep in, filling your mind with doubt, worry, and stress. A daily practice of feeding your mind with positivity, whether through affirmations, reading, or meaningful conversations, builds resilience and clarity. Your routine should include time for reflection, learning, and personal growth. Small, consistent efforts compound over time, shaping your character and strengthening your mental toughness. Health and well-being are also built through routines. What you eat, how you move, and how you rest all determine your physical energy and vitality. Without a solid routine for health, it's easy to fall into patterns of neglect, skipping meals, sacrificing sleep, and avoiding exercise. But when you prioritize habits like proper nutrition, regular movement, and sufficient rest, your body rewards you with higher energy, better focus, and long-term health. Taking care of yourself is not a luxury, it is a necessity. When your body is strong, your mind follows, and everything else in life becomes easier to manage. Evening routines are just as important as morning ones. How you end your day affects how well you rest, recover, and prepare for the next day. A strong evening routine might involve disconnecting from screens, reflecting on the day, preparing for tomorrow, engaging in activities that promote relaxation. A good night's rest is not just about the number of hours you sleep, but the quality of your sleep, which is influenced by your habits before bedtime. Ending your day with intention allows you to wake up refreshed and ready to perform at your best. Strong routines bring order to life. They reduce stress, create stability, and free up mental energy for things that truly matter. When your days have structure, you eliminate wasted time and unproductive habits. You gain control over your focus, emotions, and progress. The key is consistency. A good routine practiced daily will always outperform bursts of effort followed by periods of inconsistency. Success is not built overnight. It is built in the small daily actions that add up over time. When you build strong routines, you build a strong life. In a world that moves fast, where distractions are constant and demands never seem to end, stillness has become a rare experience. People rush from one task to the next, constantly stimulated, always engaged, yet feeling more overwhelmed than ever. The mind is bombarded with information, expectations, and responsibilities, leaving little room for clarity, creativity, or peace. The power of stillness is often overlooked, yet it holds the key to deep inner strength, heightened awareness, and true fulfillment. To spend time in stillness is not to do nothing. It is to create space for everything that truly matters. Stillness is where clarity is found. When the mind is constantly occupied, it becomes difficult to see the bigger picture. Problems appear larger than they are, and solutions remain hidden beneath the noise of everyday life. But in stillness, the mind has a chance to process, to reflect, to untangle itself from confusion. The greatest insights often come in moments of silence, when there are no distractions, no external pressures, just a quiet space to think, to breathe, to be. In stillness, the answers that seemed distant suddenly become clear. The direction that felt uncertain now reveals itself. The decisions that felt overwhelming start to make sense. Spending time in stillness also cultivates emotional balance. The modern world encourages constant reaction, responding to messages, engaging with opinions, reacting to situations. Without realizing it, people become emotionally drained, always in a state of response rather than reflection. But stillness allows emotions to settle. Instead of being consumed by stress or anxiety, you begin to observe them, to understand them, and to regain control over them. Stillness creates space between stimulus and response, allowing you to act with wisdom rather than impulse. It builds patience, resilience, and a deeper sense of calm, making it easier to navigate challenges with a clear and steady mind. Creativity flourishes in stillness. The best ideas, the most innovative solutions, the deepest insights, they do not arise from chaos, but from quiet. When the mind is constantly occupied with distractions, there is little room for original thought. But when you step into stillness, your mind begins to connect ideas in ways it never could before. Great thinkers, artists, and leaders throughout history have understood this. They sought solitude not as an escape, but as a tool to unlock higher levels of creativity and problem solving. Whether it is through meditation, a quiet walk, or simply sitting in silence, stillness becomes the space where ideas take shape and inspiration flows. Spending time in stillness also strengthens self-awareness. In the rush of daily life, it is easy to lose sight of yourself, to become consumed by external expectations, obligations, and distractions. But stillness allows you to reconnect with your inner world. It is in silence that you begin to hear your own thoughts more clearly, to understand your desires, your fears, your motivations. It is where you recognize what truly matters and what does not. The more time you spend in stillness, the more deeply you understand yourself, and the more aligned your life becomes with your true purpose. Stillness also fosters gratitude. When life is busy, it is easy to focus on what is missing, on what needs to be done, on what is not yet achieved. But when you pause in stillness, you become aware of the beauty that already exists. The simple joys, the small victories, the things that often go unnoticed. Gratitude is not just about recognizing the good in life, it is about experiencing it fully. In stillness, you shift from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance, from frustration to appreciation. The ability to embrace stillness is not about escaping from life, but about fully engaging with it. It is about creating space to think, to feel, to create, to grow. It is not something reserved for rare moments of solitude. It is a practice that can be integrated into everyday life. Even a few moments of stillness each day can transform the way you experience the world. In a noisy world, those who master stillness master themselves. The people around you shape your mindset, influence your habits, and determine the direction of your life more than you realize. Energy is contagious, both positive and negative. If you surround yourself with people who uplift, challenge, and inspire you, you will naturally rise to higher levels of success and fulfillment. But if you allow negative, toxic, or unmotivated individuals to fill your space, they will drain your energy, limit your vision, and keep you stuck in patterns that do not serve you. Choosing the right people is not just about relationships, it is about shaping the environment that fuels your growth. The right people push you to be better. They do not let you settle for less than you are capable of. They challenge your excuses, encourage your dreams, and remind you of your potential when you forget it yourself. They see the best in you, even when you struggle to see it in yourself. When you spend time with people who are committed to growth, their mindset becomes your mindset. You start to think bigger, work harder, and believe in possibilities you may have once dismissed. Their ambition fuels yours, and their discipline strengthens your own. Just as the right people lift you up, the wrong people hold you back. They drain your energy with negativity, discourage your efforts, and keep you stuck in old habits. They make excuses instead of progress. They focus on problems instead of solutions. If you spend too much time with those who lack ambition, complain about everything, or resist change, their mindset will inevitably rub off on you. You will find yourself doubting your abilities, lowering your standards, and delaying your goals. No matter how strong you are, you cannot afford to constantly fight against the negative pull of the wrong crowd. The people closest to you should reflect the person you want to become. If you want to be disciplined, spend time with disciplined people. If you want to be successful, spend time with those who strive for excellence. If you want to be at peace, surround yourself with those who carry inner calm. Environment matters. You cannot expect to grow in an environment that does not support growth. Every interaction either adds to your progress or takes away from it. Being selective about who you allow into your space is not about arrogance. It is about self-respect. Quality matters more than quantity. It is better to have a small circle of people who genuinely support and challenge you than a large group of acquaintances who do not contribute to your growth. True friends are not just those who are always there to agree with you. They are the ones who tell you the truth, even when it is uncomfortable. They hold you accountable, push you forward, and celebrate your wins. They remind you of your values when you are tempted to drift, and they encourage you to keep going when challenges arise. At the same time, you must also strive to be the right person for others. Relationships are not just about what you receive, but also about what you contribute. If you want strong, supportive people around you, you must be strong and supportive yourself. Lift others up, encourage their growth, and bring positive energy into your relationships. The better you become, the better the people you attract. Like attracts like. If you want to surround yourself with motivated, disciplined, and successful individuals, commit to becoming that kind of person first. The people in your life either expand you or limit you. They either bring you closer to your goals or pull you away from them. Choose wisely. Audit your circle. Be intentional about who you allow into your space. Your growth, your success, and your inner peace depend on it. Life is full of ups and downs, challenges and victories, moments of joy and times of struggle. The way you experience it all depends on one thing: your perspective. Two people can go through the exact same situation and come out with completely different outcomes, not because of what happened to them, but because of how they saw it. Perspective shapes your thoughts, your emotions, your decisions, and ultimately, your life. If you learn to keep perspective in all situations, you gain the ability to navigate life with wisdom, resilience, and inner peace. When challenges arise, it is easy to get caught up in the immediate difficulty of the moment. Problems seem bigger than they are. Obstacles feel insurmountable, and setbacks appear permanent. But with the right perspective, you begin to see challenges differently, not as things that are happening to you, but as things that are happening for you. Every difficulty carries a lesson. Every setback holds an opportunity, and every struggle has the potential to make you stronger. When you zoom out and see the bigger picture, you realize that what seems overwhelming today may simply be a stepping stone to something greater tomorrow. Keeping perspective also means not letting temporary emotions dictate long-term decisions. In moments of frustration, disappointment, or fear, it is easy to react impulsively, to make choices based on the emotions of the moment rather than the wisdom of a clear mind. But emotions are temporary. What feels like the end of the world today may not even matter a month from now. When you take a step back and remind yourself that feelings come and go, you regain control. You make decisions based on clarity, not chaos. Perspective allows you to separate what is truly important from what is merely urgent, ensuring that you do not let a bad moment turn into a bad decision. Gratitude is one of the most powerful tools for maintaining perspective. When life feels overwhelming, shifting your focus to what you have rather than what you lack can completely change your outlook. It is easy to get lost in what is missing, what is difficult, or what is not going according to plan. But when you take a moment to acknowledge the good, the opportunities, the lessons, the people in your life, you realize that even in tough times there is always something to be grateful for. Gratitude is not about ignoring difficulties. It is about recognizing that there is more to life than the struggles you are facing in the moment. Perspective also helps in relationships. Misunderstandings, conflicts, and disappointments are often the result of seeing things only from your own point of view. But when you take a step back and try to see a situation from another person's perspective, everything changes. You realize that most people are not acting against you. They are simply acting from their own experiences, fears, and beliefs. Keeping perspective allows you to approach relationships with understanding rather than judgment, patience rather than frustration, and compassion rather than resentment. Another key aspect of perspective is remembering that change is constant. Nothing stays the same forever. Not success, not failure, not happiness, not struggle. When things are going well, appreciate them fully, but do not take them for granted. When things are difficult, remind yourself that this too will pass. The highs and lows of life are temporary, and your ability to stay grounded comes from knowing that circumstances will always shift. If you hold on to this truth, you will not get overly attached to success or overly discouraged by failure. You will learn to embrace life as it comes, knowing that every season has its purpose. Keeping perspective is about choosing to see life with a balanced mind. It is about recognizing that every challenge is temporary, every setback carries a lesson, and every situation is shaped by how you choose to view it. When you master perspective, you master the ability to navigate life with wisdom, resilience, and a sense of calm that no external circumstance can shake. Life will always present challenges, unexpected turns, and moments that test your patience and resilience. But the way you respond to them is entirely within your control. When you choose to keep perspective, you free yourself from unnecessary stress, fear, and frustration. You begin to see setbacks as stepping stones, obstacles as opportunities, and difficulties as temporary moments in a much larger journey. No matter what you face, remind yourself to zoom out. Ask yourself, will this matter in a year? What lesson can I take from this? How can I shift my focus to gratitude and growth? The ability to keep perspective is one of the greatest strengths you can develop because it allows you to stay steady when life feels uncertain. So take a deep breath, step back, and see the bigger picture. Trust that every moment, good or bad, is shaping you into a stronger, wiser, and more resilient version of yourself. Keep your perspective clear, and you will navigate life with a sense of purpose, peace, and unwavering confidence.